The mental ritual of the law of attraction that accelerated my life. Before we begin, subscribe to this channel because here you learn how to turn vibration into results, thoughts into reality, and faith into movement. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine, what if I told you there's a mental ritual that can accelerate everything you desire? A method that doesn't depend on time, luck, or coincidence, but only on alignment and intention. I lived it. What I'm about to share completely changed my life. For years, I prayed, hoped, and waited, but nothing seemed to happen. Until I realized the universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to the vibration behind them. That day, my mental ritual was born, a daily practice of energetic realignment that made time feel faster. Opportunities started to appear, the right people came my way, and doors that once seemed locked opened easily. You're about to understand what this ritual is and how to apply it today. It all begins in the morning. Before opening my eyes, I stay still for a few seconds and remind myself, I'm creating the day I want to live. That simple phrase shifts the brain's frequency, moving the focus from what's missing to what already exists. The ritual isn't about asking, it's about vibrating in the state of I already have it. The law of attraction responds to identity, not desire. If you vibrate like someone who waits, you attract more waiting. If you vibrate like someone who already has, the universe mirrors that vibration. Every thought generates a particle of energy. When you sustain a positive emotion long enough, the magnetic field around you reorganizes. That's when I started noticing too many coincidences to ignore. It was the universe reflecting my frequency back to me. The second step of the ritual is what I call the breath of intention. I take 3 deep breaths, imagining a golden light entering with each inhale and releasing all doubt and fear with each exhale. At that moment, I feel my entire body vibrating as if every cell is being reprogrammed. Science has already proven that the brain doesn't distinguish imagination from reality. So when you imagine with emotion, the body reacts as if it's already happened. This is how we create new neural connections, and it's how the universe understands our intentions. It's not magic, it's quantum physics applied to faith. Repeat this. I don't wait for the miracle, I become the miracle. Throughout the day, the key is maintaining the vibration. The ritual doesn't end in the morning, it continues through every decision. When something goes wrong, instead of reacting, I ask, what is the universe trying to teach me? That simple question changes your energy field and turns obstacles into bridges. I realized that the more grateful I was, the faster things happened. Gratitude is the accelerator of manifestation. There's no higher frequency. So instead of complaining about what I lack, I started thanking in advance. And every thank you felt like a secret password, unlocking a new result. At the end of the day, before sleep, comes the most powerful part of the ritual. I close my eyes, place my hand over my heart, and visualize everything I want as if it's already real. I don't just imagine, I feel it. I feel the smell, the sound, the texture of the life I desire. My body vibrates in harmony with the reality I'm attracting. Meanwhile, I repeat silently, I am worthy, I am prosperous, I am the creator of my reality. Within days, I noticed a change. People saw me differently. Projects that were stuck began to flow, and unexpected opportunities appeared. It was as if time had sped up, but time hadn't changed. I had changed the way I experienced it. The truth is, the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. If you desire prosperity but vibrate scarcity, you'll stay in the loop of lack. Once I understood that, everything made sense. The mental ritual is a practice of coherence between mind, emotion, and action. When those 3 align, reality has no choice but to adapt. Ask yourself, am I living the emotion of what I want? If not, it's time to reprogram. Because the universe doesn't read your intentions, it reads your vibration. You might wonder, but what if I don't really believe? Believe even when you don't. Pretend until you vibrate. Faith is a frequency built through repetition. Just like the body strengthens through training, the mind strengthens through focus. Every visualization is a rehearsal for the future you want to live. The brain begins to recognize this new pattern as normal, and the universe simply confirms it. It's not coincidence, it's vibrational correspondence. That's why, when I started living as if I were already prosperous, prosperity arrived. Apply this today. Choose a fixed time and make it your alignment portal. It can be 6 a.m., 11:11, or 10:22 p.m. Close your eyes, visualize your desired reality and say, I now activate the flow of abundance. Repeat this for 21 days. That's the cycle where your subconscious reprograms itself. During the process, note the signs, the synchronicities, the encounters, the dreams. They're all part of the response. The more you notice, the more you attract. And what if it still takes time? Understand this, the universe isn't delaying, it's preparing. Sometimes you're not yet vibrating at the frequency of what you've asked for, and the ritual exists exactly to correct that. Patience is mature faith. I learned to wait in peace, vibrating in love, and that's when everything began to flow naturally. The right time isn't the clocks, it's energies. Accelerating life doesn't mean running, it means aligning. Now it's your turn. Start your mental ritual today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. You create it. Remember, the universe doesn't understand haste. It understands clarity. Every thought is a command, every emotion a password. The law of attraction isn't out there. It's within you. If this message resonated with you, like, comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And write in the comments, I now activate my mental ritual that will seal your new vibration energetically. The mental ritual applied to real life. There are moments in life when everything seems stuck. You do what's right, think positive, repeat affirmations, visualize, but nothing seems to happen. It's as if the universe has forgotten you. That was exactly when I discovered the true power of the mental ritual. It's not just a sequence of steps, it's a state of consciousness that changes the invisible structure of reality. When I started applying it consciously, I realized life wasn't against me. It was simply reflecting what I was vibrating. The universe doesn't punish or reward, it mirrors. And what you receive is the energetic translation of what you consistently feel. For years, my mind was conditioned to effort and struggle. I believed I could only achieve something if I worked to exhaustion. But that belief kept me trapped in scarcity. When you vibrate effort, the universe gives you more effort. When you vibrate ease and worthiness, opportunities begin to come without friction. The mental ritual is the turning point that connects action and flow. It doesn't replace work, but it reorganizes it intelligently. You stop rowing against the current and learn to sail with the wind. The first lesson is simple. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you believe you deserve. And believing isn't about repeating phrases, it's about feeling it in your body. The subconscious doesn't understand words. It understands emotion. That's why when emotion and thought are misaligned, manifestation doesn't happen. You can say, I'm rich, but if you feel afraid to look at your bank account, you're vibrating scarcity. The ritual serves precisely to align feeling and thinking. When feeling and thinking dance together, the universe responds. Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But he also taught something few people notice. Belief is a physical state, not just mental. The body must participate in belief. When you feel emotional about the future you want to create, your brain releases dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, the same chemicals as when you live something real. This creates heart-brain coherence, and reality begins to adjust. The law of attraction is biological before it's metaphysical. Every morning I repeated the ritual with full presence. It wasn't a mechanical habit, but a personal ceremony. I played soft music, breathed deeply, and mentally reviewed the three areas of my life. What I wanted to manifest materially, emotionally, and spiritually. I wrote down 3 sentences in my notebook. I am, I have, I deserve. These 3 declarations are the keys to the subconscious. They activate the neural circuit of identity. Because when you affirm, I am prosperous, you're telling the universe that you already occupy that frequency. Over time, I began to understand that everything in the universe is movement. No vibration stays still. Thoughts of doubt weaken the field. Thoughts of confidence expand it. If you want to accelerate the law of attraction, you must live in a state of anticipated gratitude. Gratitude is the code that dissolves resistance. When you give thanks before receiving, the universe understands it can deliver. And it delivers. But there's something even deeper. The mental ritual is not just about attracting, it's about becoming. You don't attract love, you become love. You don't attract abundance, you become abundance. When the being changes, having is a consequence. Everything external is just a mirror of the internal. So before you chase results, seek frequency. One practice that transformed my life was what I call vibrational dialogue. Every night before bed, I spoke to the universe as if talking to a friend. I said, "Thank you for another day. I know I'm on the right path. I trust you." That surrender dissolved every fear. And I realized that faith isn't believing everything will work out. It's knowing that even what seems wrong is guiding you. Mature faith is silent. The day I understood that, I stopped controlling and started flowing. The results came in sequence. I received unexpected contracts, met people who opened doors, and money began to flow from directions I never imagined. The universe is creative, and it uses improbable paths to fulfill what you vibrate. The mental ritual creates space for these disguised miracles. If you want to start today, do this. Choose a fixed time, sit in silence, and ask yourself 3 questions. What am I feeling now? What do I want to feel? And what can I do to vibrate that now? Don't wait for perfect conditions. The power is in the instant. The moment you change your vibration is the moment reality begins to change. One of the most powerful exercises is the emotional vision board. Close your eyes and imagine your future self achieving a dream. Visualize that version of you smiling, confident, fulfilled. Now observe what they feel. That feeling is the password. You don't need to know how. It's enough to keep the emotion alive. The universe translates emotion into events. Another essential point: eliminate guilt. Guilt is one of the slowest frequencies there is. It blocks the energy of worthiness. How many times have you sabotaged a blessing because you thought it wasn't time? Guilt is a spiritual virus. When you understand that the universe wants you to prosper, every limitation begins to crumble. To prosper is to serve, to multiply the good. Money, love, opportunities, they're all expressions of the same energy. The mental ritual also involves forgiveness, not only forgiveness toward others, but toward yourself. Holding grudges is like trying to run with an anchor tied to your leg. Forgiveness is liberation. When you forgive, energy starts flowing again. No miracle happens in a hardened heart. When I released anger and pain, I began to vibrate peace, and it was in that state that abundance found its way to me. There's a moment during the ritual when you feel a wave of calm, as if time stops. That's when the field reconfigures. It's the 0 point of manifestation, where past and future merge into the now. That state is known as vibrational coherence. And the longer you stay there, the faster things materialize. Napoleon Hill called this auto-suggestion, but what he really meant was self-creation. You don't convince the subconscious with words, you educate it through emotion. That's why visualizing with a smile, crying with gratitude, and acting with faith have such power. Emotion is the master code of creation. In my ritual, I also use symbols: a lit candle, a crystal, a phrase on the mirror. Not because they are magical, but because they are mental anchors. They remind the brain that manifestation is in progress. The subconscious loves symbols. When you look at something and feel faith, you create an energetic trigger. Another powerful tool is silence. Spending a few minutes without any stimuli, just breathing, causes your brain waves to slow into the alpha state, the same level used in hypnosis and deep meditation. That's when the subconscious opens. That's why the mental ritual isn't about doing more, it's about being more. Many people ask, what if I'm tired, without energy or faith? The answer is simple: don't fight it. Accept what you feel and start small. A single conscious breath is already the beginning of transformation. The law of attraction doesn't demand perfection, it demands consistency. The universe doesn't look for saints, it looks for those in tune. Remember, you're not a human being trying to have a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. That changes everything. The mental ritual is the bridge between these two worlds. It's when the invisible becomes visible. If you want to make the process even more powerful, write down 3 sentences every day in your notebook. 1. Today, I connect with abundance. 2. Today, I act in alignment with what I want. 3. Today, I trust the timing of the universe. These phrases reprogram the subconscious through conscious repetition. After 7 days, you'll notice an increase in synchronicity. People you were thinking about appear. Opportunities that seemed distant approach, and life gains rhythm. And if you still doubt, look back. See how many times you survived hard days, how many times you thought it was over, and yet something lifted you up. That was the universe training you to vibrate higher. Nothing is punishment. Everything is preparation. The mental ritual of the law of attraction isn't a trick. It's a reminder of what you truly are. Energy in motion, creative consciousness, a fragment of the divine mind. When you awaken to that, you realize that reality doesn't happen to you. It responds to you. Next message, I'll send the final second half, 19,000 characters, continuing this English translation seamlessly, including the closing reflection, emotional climax, and universal message. Shall I continue?